Hey, Dr. Taylor here. So let's move into some of these lab tests to look at the overlooked causes to weight gain. And you can see there's a variety of issues that can contribute to weight gain, and we're going to go over some of the various tests that goes along with these. The first one we're actually going to talk about is environmental exposure. So let's go ahead and move along to that one. So with environmental exposure, there's different chemicals that can lead to weight gain. These chemicals are starting to be classified as obesogens or lead to diabetes and obesity. And these include pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, various heavy metals, plastics, and household cleaners. And what happens with these, you can still have weight gain even if you're eating a caloric deficit. So if you're eating 1,500 calories a day, trying to lose weight when you think you only need 2,000 calories a day, you still can gain weight even though you're eating 500 less calories a day than what your body actually needs. So what happens in the body, there's a couple of functions that get affected. And the first one is it affects your mitochondria. So the mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell. They produce energy so cells can do work and function. So your brain, you can process thoughts, muscles that contract and move your limbs. And we need that energy from the mitochondria to do that. An analogy I like to give is the mitochondria are like the power plants of a city. So you can think of a coal-burning power plant producing energy, producing electricity for a city. That way the residents can turn on their air conditioners and their furnaces and cook food on the stovetop. So that's what a mitochondria does in a cell, is it produces energy. So these different chemicals and metals, they interfere with the mitochondria or the energy centers to where they can't produce energy anymore. So it'd be like the electric power plant not being able to produce energy for a city. The next one is liver detoxification. These chemicals interfere with liver detox pathways, so you can't rid the body of these different chemicals. So we may get exposed to these on an occasion, and if the body is healthy, it'll actually get rid of them. It'll detoxify them through the urine and feces and sweat. But these chemicals, if they become too much for the body to handle, it decreases the liver's detox pathways, and then that can lead to headaches and mood swings, fatigue and fibromyalgia, and then weight gain. Finally, these chemicals, they block insulin receptors as well. So insulin receptors on the cells are kind of like a lock and key mechanism. We need glucose or blood sugar to get into the cells to feed the mitochondria to be able to produce energy. So what happens is these keys get blocked. So it'd be like if you're trying to go home, you're trying to get inside your house, your front door is locked. You're like glucose on the outside of the cell. You're trying to get inside the house or inside the cell so you can do work inside the house, but your key doesn't work anymore. And that's what happens with these receptors. The keys don't work on the cells, and that can predispose you to diabetes, even if you have a pretty good diet. So we have various lab tests for these. The most common one, we need to check for heavy metals because there's specific protocols we need to take to get heavy metals out of the body if you have too much heavy metals in the body. So this is just a hair test from Great Plains Labs. We can take a sample, and if you have too many heavy metals in the body, your body will deposit these metals out into the tissue and the hair, so we can measure that and see if there's a big issue there. So that's just one lab test we can use. There's another lab test. So for toxic nonmetals, so these are like the herbicides, pesticides. If you work in an industrial environment, we can measure these through the urine. So this is just a urine test from Great Plains Labs to see if there's too much in the body and if your body's struggling to detoxify. Again, there may be a normal amount of chemicals we're exposed to. So some chemicals, is kind of okay. But if we have too much, then that's a problem we need to address, and that may be a lifestyle change. And here's just another screenshot of some other chemicals that we can test for to see what's in the body in a third. Well, thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed the video.